Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. First off, what exactly is P0720? The code description is output speed sensor circuit malfunction. In simple terms, your car's brain, the powertrain control module or PCM, isn't getting a clear or reliable signal from the output speed sensor. This sensor is crucial. It tells the PCM how fast the output shaft of your transmission is spinning. The PCM uses this information for a lot of important things, like controlling when to shift gears, adjusting the torque converter clutch, and even making your speedometer work correctly. So, when this signal is lost or erratic, your car gets confused. You might notice some pretty obvious symptoms. One of the most common is harsh or erratic shifting. Your transmission might bang into gear, refuse to shift, or get stuck in one gear, which is often called limp mode. Another big clue is your speedometer acting up. It might jump around, read 0 while you're moving, or not work at all. And of course, the check engine light will be staring you in the face. In some cars, you might also see the traction control or ABS lights come on, since those systems also use vehicle speed data. Now, let's talk about the usual suspects. What causes a P0720 code? Well, it's easy to jump to conclusions and blame the sensor itself. It's not always the culprit. The number one cause is often a wiring issue. The wiring harness going to the output speed sensor lives in a pretty harsh environment. It can get damaged by heat, vibrations, or road debris. Wires can chafe, break, or corrode, leading to a bad connection. The connector itself can also be a problem. It might be loose, filled with dirt, or have corroded pins. Another potential cause is low or dirty transmission fluid. If your fluid level is too low, it can cause all sorts of internal issues that might indirectly trigger this code. Old, burnt fluid can also interfere with the proper operation of internal components. And, of course, the output speed sensor itself can fail. These are electronic components, and they can and do go bad over time. Finally, in rarer cases, the problem might be more serious, like a mechanical issue inside the transmission or a fault with the PCM. But always start with the simple stuff first. So, how do we diagnose this? First, a visual inspection is key. Get under the car and find the output speed sensor. It's usually located on the tail housing of the transmission. Check the wiring harness for any obvious signs of damage. Look for frayed wires, melted plastic, or anything that looks out of place. Wiggle the connector to make sure it's on tight. Pull it off and inspect the pins for corrosion or damage. If everything looks good visually, the next step is to test the sensor and its circuit. You can do this with a You'll want to check for proper voltage and ground at the connector. You can also test the sensor's resistance to see if it is within the manufacturer's specifications. A more advanced method is to use a scope to look at the signal the sensor is producing while the wheels are turning. A good sensor should produce a clean, consistent square wave or sine wave that changes frequency with speed. If the signal is erratic or non-existent, you've likely found your problem. If your tests point to a bad sensor, the fix is straightforward. Replace it. They are typically held in by just 1 or 2 bolts and are relatively easy to access. If the wiring is the problem, you'll need to repair the damaged section or replace the connector. And if your fluid is low or dirty, a transmission service might be in order. Remember, diagnosing a P0720 code is about being methodical. Start with the easiest and most common causes before assuming the worst. A simple visual check can often save you a lot of time and money. I hope this guide helps you tackle that pesky P0720 code with confidence. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more DIY repair guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.